Hello everyone, my name is Caden, and today I'll be teaching you how to string a lacrosse stick. But first, let's go over some materials you'll need. So first up, you'll need a lacrosse head. Next, you'll need some lacrosse mesh. Next, you will need a top string, sidewall string, 2 sidewall strings, a bottom string, and some shooting laces. Okay, the first step here is going to be a 9-diamond top string. Now you might be wondering, what is a 9-diamond top string? Let me show you. On every piece of mesh, there is a 10-diamond row and a 9-diamond row. So if you count the top row here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the second row here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold the mesh until that top row is 9 diamonds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, just like that. Okay, so before I start my 9-diamond top string, I always like to secure the mesh to the head. So I'm going to start out by taking my sidewall string, and I'm going to do a double overhand knot. So that is just a knot, regular overhand with 2 loops. And I'm going to pull that nice and secure, like that. I'm going to take the end of that sidewall string, I'm going to pass it through the outside to the inside of the lacrosse head. I'm then going to take my mesh, I'm going to find my first 10-diamond row. So not our 9-diamond row yet, our 10-diamond row. I'm going to pass that through the front to the back of that first 10-diamond row. Then I'm going to pass my string back through the outside to the inside of the sidewall hole. And I'm just going to pull that so that it's nice and secure. I'm going to go back through that same 10-diamond mesh hole from the front to the back. And then back through the outside to the inside of that very same sidewall hole. Pushing that through, pulling it nice and secure, and then passing that string one more time through the front to the back and pulling it out, and then I'm just going to leave it there. As you can see, I have done that on the other side, and let's get into our 9-diamond top string. So we're going to start out with our top string here, and I'm going to start out with a double overhand knot. So I'm passing it around and back through both of those holes, tightening so it's nice and secure. I'm going to take the end of this string and pass it through that top sidewall hole and pulling it right through. Then I'm going to pass it through the front to the back of that top 9-diamond hole, then back through that same sidewall hole, and back through that same mesh hole, which should form a loop that is going to secure that first mesh diamond to the head. I'm then going to take my string and pass it through the back to the front of the head, and through the front to the back of that first mesh diamond, and underneath this string. Then I'm going to pull that, take some of the slack out, go through the back to the front of that same mesh hole, and then through the front to the back of our head. In this loop that you formed, you're going to pass your string through this loop, pull all the slack out, and then pull this knot nice and secure. Make sure that you get this knot nice and tight, so then it won't stretch out over use. Okay, then I'm going to repeat that same knot a few more times. So I'm going to go through the back to the front of the head, I'm going to skip a mesh hole here. So as you can see, there's nothing tied here. I'm going to go through the front to the back of the mesh. Remember to go around the back of that string, through the back to the front of the mesh, forming our loop, through the front to the back of the head, through the loop. I'm going to pull this slack out, and I'm going to tighten this down, nice and secure, just like so. I'm going to skip another mesh diamond here, so I'm going to go through the back to the front of the head, through the front to the back of the mesh, skipping one mesh diamond, pull that secure, then through the back to the front of the mesh, through the front to the back of the head, and pulling that through our loop, just like before. I'm going to take some of that slack out of that string, and then pull this nice and secure. Then I'm going to skip another, and I'm going to go through the back of our head, through the front of the mesh, remembering to pass it underneath that string, pulling some of our tension out, then back through the back of the mesh to the front, then through the front of the head to the back, under our loop. I'm going to take some of that slack out, and then I'm going to pull this so that it's nice and secure right there. I'm then going to take my string, pass it through the front to the back of that last 9 diamond mesh hole, and through the inside to the outside of that top sidewall hole, passing it through the back to the front of the mesh, and then back through that very same sidewall hole. Now I'm going to pull this tight, and I'm going to end this top string with a double overhand knot. So around once, through both loops. Ooh, only got one. Through both loops, and then pulling that knot so it's nice and secure. Okay, now that we have our nice top string done, we're going to go ahead and do our sidewall. So we're going to take this sidewall string that we secured earlier, and we're going to skip 3 sidewall holes here. Now the reason I'm doing this is to create a nice tight channel, which I will get to later. So I'm going to go through the outside to the inside of that fourth sidewall hole. I'm going to pass my string up and through that first mesh diamond. I'm then going to take my string, make a loop, and pass it down through my loop. I'm going to come to the inside, pull away any slack, and then tighten this down nice and securely. I'm going to do that same knot. This time I'm going to skip 2 sidewall holes, so through the outside to the inside, pulling that through, up through the mesh diamond, and then down through the loop that we've created. I'm going to take away the slack, and then pull that nice and tight. I'm then going to skip 3 more sidewall holes, pass it through the outside to the inside, up through the next mesh diamond here, and then down through the loop we've created, once again pulling away all the slack, and then tightening this down so it's nice and tight. Next step is going to be passing my string up, down, through the next 2 mesh diamonds, pulling it nice and tight up to the top, then skipping 2 sidewall holes. I'm going to go through the outside to the inside. I'm going to form this loop. I'm going to go down through the loop, pull that slack out, and then tighten down that knot. I'm then going to pass my string back up through those 2 very same mesh holes that we just used. So you can see I'm passing it up through those 2 mesh holes. And I'm going to pull this so that those 2 mesh diamonds are sitting on top of my knot, right around them. Then I'm going to take my string and pass it through the front to the back of the mesh, through that next mesh diamond. I'm going to take my mesh and pull it so it's sitting nice and snugly with that last knot. I'm going to take my string and skipping 2 holes. I'm going to pass it through the outside to the inside and then right through that loop. I'm going to skip another hole. I'm going to pass my string up through that next mesh hole, and then, like I said, skipping a hole through the outside of the sidewall to the inside, and then back through that loop we've created. I'm going to pull that mesh so that it's sitting nice and snug, and then give that a tighten. I'm going to do that one more time. So up through the mesh, through the outside to the inside, skipping a hole, back through our loop, pulling that mesh up so it's nice and snug, and then securing that. I'm going to do this one more time. So up through the mesh, through the outside to the inside, and then pulling it nice and secure. Now for this one, I'm going to pass it back through back to the front of the mesh, and then through the inside to the outside of the second to last sidewall hole, pulling it tight, and then ending off with an overhand knot. Nice and snug up against the sidewall, just like so. Now, what we've done here by skipping holes and by tightening everything down nice and tight, so what we've done is we actually created a channel in this stick, and the channel allows the ball to come out of the stick the same every time. So as the ball is coming out, it's coming out nice and straight. Next up, I will show you how to tie the bottom lace. So we're going to take our bottom lace and tie an overhand knot. We're going to pass our bottom lace through our bottom lace hole. We're going to go through our 10 diamond row on the 8th diamond, which is 1 from the end. We're going to go through on the 2nd diamond, which is 1 from the end on the other side. We're going to pull that so that those mesh diamonds bunch up together, and then pass it through our other bottom string hole and securing with another overhand knot. Just like that. Next up, we are going to be tying a shooting string. So I'm going to pass this through the side of the head here, up through the front to the back of the mesh. I'm then going to check if the strings are of equal length. And once they are, I'll pass back down over the top of that last shooting string. I'm going to go up through, bring this down, take my other side, go over top of it, down through, then up, other one, down, and they are going to crisscross like this the whole way across the head. Once you have gotten your shooting string all the way through, you're going to take the ends, you're going to do an overhand knot and a second overhand knot. Now, you may add more shooters, you may not use any shooters. It's all personal preference. All right, everybody, thank you for stringing with me, and have a great day.